think about ERP, right? You have an open period. We're open now in the month of October. So all my transactional data that I do today is in the month of October. I can't post anything into the closed periods. So this is the limitation that stops me from bringing over historical data. Okay, at S&P, we have a software that allows us to do that, right? So that allows us to bring the historical data. And this opens up the new area for the customer. Oh, you mean I can bring the historical data? Because this helps me, right? Because think about what's in that history, right?
Yeah.
Customer calls you with a warranty, just as an example. Do you want to be able to find that, right? I mean, you don't want to know, do I have to look here? Do I have to look in my data warehouse? Which data warehouse do I have to look at it in? It becomes very difficult. You want to be able to find that in ERP. And there are many other reasons besides warranties. It could be discounts. It could be compliance reasons. It could be spare parts reasons. There's a lot of reasons why you want that historical data. Maybe not all of it. As we said before, there's reasons to get rid of some of it, but you certainly want a decent amount of it. Also because you want to ultimately retire that old system. You don't want to say, we brought only open items. And we retire, and we're going to keep the old system for our historical reporting. You actually didn't simplify anything. You made it more complicated. So we would like you to retire that system. We'd like you to decommission it. Keep it kind of on ice, so to speak. You can refer to it if you need to on low-cost storage, but you can't transact business there anymore. There's no need to pay the full ERP license and so on. You just have the data in case you get a audit type question. You have a place to refer to it. So when it comes now to the migration, we want to bring as much data as needed to meet the customer's regulatory requirement. And we're going to talk to the auditors. We're going to talk to the customer. We're going to talk to the lines of business to understand what that is. And maybe it's something like 5 to 7 years is a number we hear a lot. So, okay, now what do we do with 7 years and older or 5 years and older data? Well, we can just decommission the whole source. That's one option people say. So everything untouched is in the a read-only image of the source at much lower cost. Number two, we could bring it to many of the data warehouse type third-party data stores that are out there, and you know them all. There's a bunch of them out there. SAP even has DataSphere. We could bring it in there as well, right? There are many things customers can do with that data to get it out of core ERP, but still be able to access it. And that's a second option. But we do want them, to come back to that point, to consider bringing a certain amount of it. And I'll tell you why. Back to that AI predictive analytics discussion. When you talk to a customer, Sam, why do you want to go to S4HANA? Well, the first example is, well, there's some date and we want to be compliant and all that. Okay. I'd rather you didn't do that. Better go get third-party support and don't do it for some arbitrary date. You peel the onion on that, I'll use your term there, and you finally get to something like, well, we want to become a digital business. We want to take advantage of the predictive analytics that are in S4HANA, and that's really why we want to do it. Now, that's a good reason. That's something I'm on board with, not some arbitrary date. Okay. How do predictive analytics work, right? How does S4HANA know, Sam, that you're going to buy pencils next month? It's because you bought pencils every month for the last 5 years. So without that historical data, the model doesn't know that you're going to do the thing, buy pencils in my silly example, next month. And this is much more important than buying pencils. I'm just keeping it silly. But it could be, is the machine going to break? Do I need to order spare parts? Is the customer going to order something? Are they not going to order something? All this stuff you want to know doesn't work without the historical data. So what does this mean? The reason, your justification for buying the platform in the first place, you've deferred for another 5 years. This is not a good example. It doesn't unlock the value in the platform. So migrating the history allows you to unlock the value in S4HANA.